I'm sure this is the 100th video this week you've seen about the new tokens, so I won't talk about it too much, but I will start with it. This is insane. $38 billion for, once again, something that of course has no intrinsic value, and in this case is 80% owned by an insider who is planning directly on selling over the course of a set amount of time. Nothing has improved with the other dumb stuff. This one's still worth $1.5 billion, although Dog with Hat Coin has collapsed. So some semblance of sanity has returned to one very small portion of the market. But otherwise, things remain crazy. Everyone's lost their minds, but bow down to your new overlords who bought Trump at open because they have outperformed the S&P since 1980. Your boomer father or grandfather who invested in 1982 is doing far worse than your 13-year-old cousin who happened to be online at the time Trump released a meme coin, and that 13-year-old cousin is doing better. That is the state of modern finance, and it continues to be incredible. Again, if I want to be completely clear, if I knew about it at the time, I would have bought more than virtually any of these people. They were very apt to buy early. You knew it was going to go up. I just didn't happen to be there on time. So maybe it's envy or jealousy, because I totally would have done the same thing. But it's still insane that you're in a world where you just know that some useless crypto that the president released is going to go up 30x over the course of the next day. It seemed very obvious at the time. I just checked my phone too late and had to be on the other side of it, of harassing the people who got in early, even though they're obviously doing better financially at this point. But I mean, look at this.
Tend to continue selling products that benefit yourself personally while you're president?
Well, I don't know if it benefited. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't...
What? How is this the timeline that we're in? Obviously, I can't imagine this is true. I'm pretty sure $30 billion is his of the entire market cap, and that's a solid 60 to 80% of his entire net worth right now. Can't imagine he doesn't know about it. If he doesn't, that's obviously 10 times funnier. And when he said this, I think it was right here, it just tanked 30%. I mean, it's absolutely remarkable. And it's stuff like this where it's this guy's probably right. He's probably going to be right. And you're at the point in the market cycle where you're buying something that you know, beyond doubt, has no fundamental value. And yet you're buying it despite that because you believe, likely rightfully so, that someone else is going to come and buy it after you. Because why not? If that's the market you're in, trade the market you're in. There's nothing wrong with it, but it is insane. And these things, at some point, do take a hit and go all the way down. They end up being very similar to a zero-sum game. Who knows when that point is? I do love the fine lines of the two sides of this, of the people who don't care and are long, who are obviously trying to get other people to go long because that is what they require to make money, and the people who don't have it, who hate on those people, entirely rightfully so, for buying a useless investment, but those people in this environment do end up outperforming. This is a great take by a Bitcoin bear, and I do think this is funny. And it goes far beyond Trump to all of the terrible cryptos that have been released recently. And you just see all these names, and it's so reminiscent of the 2000 tech bubble. I know I made a post about this at some point, but it's so true. This is the 2000 IPO market. This is what happened. I wasn't around at the time, but this is what happened where, at least from stories I've heard, where someone buys it and they're playing a hockey game and then they go to the dressing room to check their stock price and it's up 300%. That's what's going on right now. You buy it an IPO or on release of a crypto in this case, and you check back an hour later after you've done some busy work and you're up 400, 500%, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever it is. And it's a mania. It goes away at some point, but in the meantime, it's insane. And it's incomprehensibly insane, the percentages you're dealing with here. And you know what? I'm up 50% on this, or more at this point, I believe. It was actually somehow not insane to buy a 10,000 strike call, at least so far. It has to close at zero, but in the event that it doesn't, I'm going to be very glad that I had it. As I said, this is a hedge against things going unbelievably well. This was the most pro-America position I thought I could possibly take at the time. And if we go that route, I will be very happy to have owned this. But in the meantime, I deserve to lose. I kind of hope I do, but maybe I won't, because things just go straight up for 4 years, and the S&P closes at 20,000, and this just retires me. I suppose if we are living forever, and the S&P is going to go to 8 million by 2025, as my late night post suggests. It's actually all very reasonable. If we're all going to live forever, we might as well just buy at any price because it just stops mattering. And then obviously perhaps you just go into an absurd bubble. Who knows if that happens? Everything, I think, is on the table at this point. We've seen how stupid things can get. If things can get really stupid on useless cryptocurrencies, they can get even dumber on like value stocks that have some sense of intrinsic value. Because when you have Trump trading beyond 10 combined S&P 500 stocks, what matters at that point, right? You know, I try to be prudent. I try to think about things. I'm doing pretty well, but I'm not doing better than the guy who just kept rolling meme coins from one funny name to the next whenever they got released. That guy is doing a lot better than me, and he's probably going to keep doing better than me for a little while longer. But at some point, they go to zero, and I won't. And you just got to know that, and you can't get FOMO'd into that. In the end, AGI is coming, and it's not going to matter anyway. So I suppose the rational thing may actually be to just full port, SPX 10,000 calls and as much Trump coin as possible. Why not, right? As long as you're in America, it's all going to be okay. As for whether or not we're in the good or bad timeline right now, I'm not entirely sure I can say with confidence that we're on either path, because SPX going to 10,000 can probably still fall under either path at this point. Regardless, in the meantime, don't take it so seriously. Enjoy the people who make a fortune on it, make fun of them when they lose money perhaps. But in the meantime, they're currently doing better, so we have nothing to say negatively about them, other than the fact that at some point, someone ends up losing a fortune. Who knows when that is? When things go up, everyone makes money, right? And it feels like everyone has infinite money. It feels like you're falling behind. It's never the case. The pendulum always swings back. But, don't worry about things too much. Also, we are absolutely living in a simulation. Anyway, this was a stupid video. I didn't have much meaningful to post, so I decided to post this. Hope you had a good one. See you the next time.